Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to a special broadcast of Hilaal Live. My name is Fahraaz Patel. I would like to thank you, the viewer, for staying with us. Of course, as Hilaal TV, we've been covering the 5th Global Conference of Solidarity with Palestine, and I have a special guest. He is the spokesperson of Hamas, Dr Khaled Qadomi. Dr Qadomi, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shukran so much for joining us.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Shukran to you and to your audience.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. Dr. Qadomi, you've seen the outpouring of support here at this conference from the people of South Africa for the people of Palestine. I mean, it's massive, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I always keep saying that whenever I am in South Africa, I feel home. We share a lot of commons in our struggle and in the future and the opposing or confronting or fighting, struggling against the oppressors, apartheid, and the aggressions, the aggressors. So yes, in this conference, very conference of the 5th International Conference for Solidarity with the Palestinian, it has been hosted by South Africa. That's by itself is indicative, and we really feel. I wouldn't say emotion, but these are really an awareness towards the betterment of the South, the betterment of the Orient, the betterment of the weak, the betterment of the oppressors.
Dr. Qadomi, when we look, of course, what is happening in Gaza at this very moment, the death toll is beyond anyone's wildest imaginations. And what the people of Gaza have gone through speaks of the highest levels of genocide that could be there. The international community, when we talk double standards, it's a word or two words that are used very loosely. But do you feel that that double standard, especially from those in the West, is more evident now than it ever has been?
They in the West, and particularly the hegemonic countries and their governments, say for example, I mean, we should discriminate between the stance of the people in the street, American people, British people. They're non-Muslims, they're non-Arab, but they're with us. But the hegemonic powers in the West, they are the direct reason for these double standards or whatever we are suffering over there. Don't be reluctant to call it genocide. This is the term.
Yes.
It is. 20,000 martyrs, 70% of them are children and ladies. The number of the children who has been slain by Israeli aggression in the month of October, that is 3 weeks because we started in 7th. They started their offensive and their aggression in 7th. 3 weeks is much bigger than the number of children who has been killed anywhere in the world since 2019. This is a genocide. Don't call it something else. So the double standard, yes, it happens that they fabricated stories. Even since the beginning, the inception of this very brutal Zionist regime in 1948, they started to say that the land of Palestine is a land without nation for a nation without land.
Yes.
I mean, something unbelievable. They've been founded. They have been founded over the massacres. They committed more than 600 massacres in 1948. That means they have wiped off 600 Palestinian villages from the map of Palestine. Today they are doing the same. And they're doing it explicitly. Afi Dichter, the minister in the emergency government of Netanyahu, he said it on TV that we are doing a new Nakba. We call it Nakba 2023 of Gaza. They are saying this. Ibn Kfir, the so-called national security minister of this government, he's saying that there is no right for the Palestinian to live. The right to be safe is for the Israelis. They're moving towards what we can call it pure race, something para-humanity. I don't know what is it.
It's akin to Nazism. isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
they are.
yeah.
They are so called the survivors of the Holocaust, but they are doing another Holocaust in Gaza. They are the neo-Nazis.
Dr. Qadomi, the word terrorist is thrown around very loosely because the West sees Hamas as the terrorist organization. When you read many of the Western media, of course, the word militant or jihadist or terror group is thrown around. Is there an obsession from, of course, Israel and its partners, the United States and the United Kingdom, to use that word to not say sanction, but to sustain the freedom fighting movement that is Hamas? Do you feel that is the modus operandi when you look at it?
Who is America to decide the good apple and bad apple issue? America, who has invaded Vietnam, America, who has thrown the nuclear bomb over Nagasaki and Hiroshima, America, who has committed massacres in Fallujah in Iraq, America, who has invaded Afghanistan. Are they really capable or eligible to decide who is terrorist? They are the biggest state-sponsored terrorism in the world. America, Biden himself, he was before Netanyahu to attend this field of war against our children. They killed, they murdered schools, hospitals, mosques, churches, children, women. They attack over the stones and the humans. They carpet firing everywhere without any rationality, without any reason, without anything that they can announce it rationally about what they are doing. We are not terrorists. We are freedom fighters. We are not warmongers. They are the warmongers. We are not vampires. They are the vampires. They lived on the blood of our children. We are only freedom fighters. We are fighting for a legitimate cause, for a cause to defend our people who are living under the occupation. Simple as that.
Yeah. After the break, I continue my conversation with Dr. Qadomi here on Hilaal Live. Do stay tuned. Welcome to Hilaal Live. I'm still in conversation with Dr. Khaled Qadomi, a spokesperson for Hamas. Dr. Qadomi, the growing calls for the ICC warrant of arrest continues to grow louder. Here in South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa has joined that chorus, has even led it during a recent concluded BRICS meeting that they held. I know, obviously, Israel not being a signatory of the Rome Statute makes it difficult. But surely when you look at international law and what is happening, there needs to be a change, is there? Because the accountability that Netanyahu keeps on escaping cannot go any further.
See, yes, the legal movements are important. I mean, we need to go for the illegal rights of our people to defend them. You don't need to be signatory with the ICC to present a case. I mean, you just simply need a victim, Palestinian victim, who can do it. But I tell you something, we can do many things legally. We can do some cases in local level in South Africa. You get one of those victims and you register the case, and the result will be the isolation of the movement of the Israeli diplomats. This is the target.
Yeah.
They should be isolated. They should not be granted any access for any place in the world. And that can be successful. You know, ICC is very important, but I feel sometimes you will not reach anywhere over there. You will need to submit cases over there against those Biden before Netanyahu and Gallants and Gantz, they are the criminal of wars. They have to be to know that they have done a tremendous attack against humanity. They have done a big gap in the legal aspects. They cannot go impunity. They have to be brought to the court, and we can do it, as I said, in local level. We can do it at national, regional levels. We can do it also at the international level. Part of the awareness, which we can spread it everywhere, we can do also virtual court. I mean, not in the official one. We can do some sort of awareness why they are to be considered the criminal of wars, and we can bring them. We've done it against Trump before, and it has created a lot of awareness in the world. This is very important, and it will gather a lot of solidarity at the international level, which we can say we reach to the international intifada or international solidarity. Second thing, not only you can bring legal files against the state of Israel, that they should not be even treated as a normal state in everywhere. So severing the relation, lowering the level of the relation, cutting the economic ties, and Kosato in I think 2012 or 14, I believe, they refused to undock the Israeli ships in Dublin, and that was very effective. This is the thing. You need to raise the cost of occupation. You need to raise the cost of the crimes they are committing. You need to bring them legally to the courts whenever it is feasible.
Dr. Qadomi, the liberation after October 7th, there's a growing sense that it's moving even closer to it happening. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, of course, the best of all planners. But as Palestinians, do you feel it is moving closer now than it was before?
No doubt that we have already won on 7th of October. We won at military level, smartness of our fighters. We won at political and diplomatic level. International society today no more tolerate the official stance of Israel, and everybody is talking about stopping the war. The leaders of Israel, they are saying that they are now minor in the international political level. We've won the battle of narrative. Today, the masses who are thronged in the streets in the 5 continents against Israel, the way Bolivia, Cambodia, and the Latin American countries, South Africa, they severed the relation, they lowered the relation with Israel. Are they Arab or Muslim? They're human. This is the winning. You know how to win the war. That to defeat the whims of the enemy, not to allow the enemy to win or achieve their own targets and goals. They will never be able to destroy Gaza or resistance or Hamas. This is the thing which they think to do, to think about it, is how to save themselves in front of those legal aspects which they have violated, in front of those masses and everywhere who are strong against them. They have to think about their own self, not destruction of Hamas and Gaza. Today, practically and not emotionally, we are near to Al-Quds and near to Jerusalem.
Inshallah.
And that is, inshallah, adamant.
Ameen. One final question, Dr. Qadomi. The role that other nations, and I'm going to speak specifically the Arab leaders, what do they need to do now? Obviously, Qatar, they brokered the truce between obviously Hamas and Israel, but the truce, even though the extensions happen now, is done. But what more needs to be done from the Arab leaders' perspective in order to make sure that they stand firm with the people of Palestine? Is there hope?
At one side, we're thankful to whoever is bringing a drop of water to Gaza and to our people, or a drop of water in the political solution or pressure to stop this aggression and stop the war. On the other hand, I'm really very much surprised, rather shocked with level of the diplomatic stance at the Arab and Muslim level. 57 countries, they gathered in Riyadh in OIC and Arab Summit. They failed to open Rafah Gate permanently. Rafah Gate is between us and Egypt. It's an Arab Palestinian Egyptian gate. We should not be blackmailed by Israel and the international hegemonic powers. We should stop that thing because we can open it. We can allow the aids to come, the medical and humanitarian aids to the Palestinian. They're not able to convey, they're not able to make water available for the Palestinian. That's really very sorry for that. And the second thing, I mean, they can do only whatever they have decided. The Muslim countries who have gathered in Riyadh, the only thing they need to do is to do whatever they have stated. The decisions came out from that meeting, they need to implement it. That's it.
Dr. Qadomi, shukran so much for making the time to speak to us. We really do appreciate it, and we make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we enter liberated goods, inshallah. Ameen.
Ameen. Thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure. That is, of course, a conversation with Dr. Khaled Qadomi. After the break, I'll have your latest in news, finance, and sports. Do stay tuned.